For years, big tech has been the dream job. Free food, high salaries, flexible work, and the promise of changing the world. But that image is starting to crack. Behind the glossy campuses and billion-dollar perks, something new is happening. Tech workers are organizing. From Google engineers to Amazon warehouse staff to video game developers, labor activism is rising inside America's biggest tech companies, and it's shaking up Silicon Valley's old culture of quiet loyalty and limitless ambition. This is Tech Workers Organizing, the rise of labor in big tech. Let's start with a simple question. Why now? For decades, Silicon Valley saw itself as different from the rest of corporate America. Tech employees weren't workers, they were innovators, entrepreneurs, part of the mission. That mindset created a culture where long hours and high pressure were accepted as the price of greatness. Union talk was almost taboo, but that mindset is changing fast. A combination of layoffs, moral conflicts, and corporate overreach has created a new awakening among tech workers, one that feels less like rebellion and more like self-preservation. In the last 2 years, big tech companies have collectively laid off more than 500,000 workers. Many of them were high-skilled engineers, designers, and managers, people who never imagined they'd be expendable. Overnight, job security vanished, stock options plunged, and the myth that working in tech means safety collapsed. Now, for the first time in decades, Silicon Valley employees are talking about things like collective bargaining, workplace transparency, and labor rights. Words once reserved for factory floors, not coding teams. Take Google, for instance. After years of internal activism around issues like military contracts and harassment, employees formed the Alphabet Workers Union, a rare move in a white-collar tech giant. It's not a traditional union tied to a single plant or job type. It's a new model, one built for distributed workforces, spanning full-time employees, temps, and contractors. Their goal isn't just higher pay, it's accountability, fairness, and a voice inside a company that shapes the digital lives of billions. Amazon, meanwhile, has become ground zero for tech labor activism. While corporate staff design algorithms and logistics systems, hundreds of thousands of warehouse and delivery workers operate at the front lines, often under intense conditions. The historic union victory at an Amazon warehouse in Staten Island in 2022 was a turning point. It showed that even in one of the most powerful companies on earth, collective action is possible. Since then, Amazon workers from California to Kentucky have pushed for better safety standards, wage negotiations, and fair scheduling. And the movement isn't limited to the big names. In the video game industry, studios like Activision Blizzard, Sega, and ZeniMax have seen waves of unionization, driven by employees fed up with crunch culture, unstable contracts, and burnout. Game developers, once seen as the lucky ones doing what they love, are now some of the loudest voices demanding reform. So what changed? 3 big forces are driving this movement. First, economic pressure. Tech salaries are still high, but inflation, housing costs, and layoffs have eaten away at the sense of privilege. Workers are realizing that perks don't equal protection. The message is simple. If even Google can fire you in a Zoom call, it's time to organize. Second, ethical awakening. Tech workers no longer want to build blindly. From facial recognition to military drones to data surveillance, many employees are questioning how their work is used, and they want to say. Movements like Tech Won't Build It and No Tech for ICE started as internal petitions and turned into public protests. This moral dimension gives the labor movement in tech a unique edge. It's not just about wages, it's about values. Third, remote work changed everything. During the pandemic, employees discovered independence and community outside the office. Slack channels, Discord servers, and encrypted chats became organizing tools. Workers could talk freely, share contracts, compare salaries, and mobilize across locations. Ironically, the very digital tools created by big tech are now helping employees challenge it. But it's not an easy battle. Big tech is pushing back, hard. Companies like Amazon and Apple have been accused of anti-union tactics, mandatory training sessions, surveillance of internal chats, and subtle retaliation. Many firms still rely on contract workers who fall outside traditional labor protections. The message from management is often the same. Unions slow down innovation, but workers are responding. Innovation means nothing if the people behind it are exhausted, undervalued, and replaceable. There's also a cultural clash at play. Silicon Valley was built on the myth of meritocracy, that hard work and brilliance naturally rise to the top. But as layoffs hit and executive bonuses grow, that myth looks increasingly hollow. The divide between billionaire founders and burned-out employees has never been wider. Organizing, for many, is becoming a way to reclaim dignity. To say that tech isn't just about disruption, it's about fairness too. Even investors are taking notice. Labor instability is now seen as a risk factor in company valuations. Startups are beginning to write labor policies into their funding pitches, and major universities, once pipelines into big tech jobs, are seeing students question whether those companies still reflect their ideals. If you zoom out, this moment in tech mirrors earlier labor revolutions, from factory workers in the 1930s to Hollywood writers in the 2020s. Every major industry that reshaped the economy eventually faced a reckoning with the people who powered it. Tech is now entering that phase. The rise of labor in big tech isn't about tearing down innovation, it's about redefining it. Workers aren't asking to stop building the future. They're asking to have a voice in what kind of future gets built. Whether it's fair algorithms, ethical AI, or humane workplaces, the message is clear. The human side of technology matters. We're watching a cultural shift unfold in real time. The next time a major tech company announces a new product or breakthrough, remember, behind the code, the design, the shiny keynote, are thousands of workers quietly asking a bigger question. Who really benefits from all this innovation? Because in the end, the rise of labor in big tech isn't just a workplace story, it's a mirror held up to the entire industry and to a society built on technology that's finally starting to ask what progress should really look like.